You are listening to the USDN on the DFPN.
It's a trap!
What is up, everybody? It's the chairman of the United States Department of Nerds, where we are for the people, by the people, and of the people. And tonight, some characters don't ask for permission. They don't negotiate, and they don't wait for the world to be ready for them. They kick the door in. Tonight on the USDN podcast, we're stepping into a collision of indie comic universes where horror, action, and attitude meet head on. When a black market deal involving a zombie blood serum threatens to spiral into global chaos, two lethal heroines, Gun Goth and Footpath, are forced into an uneasy alliance. The result? Hostile Assets, a brutal crossover event written by my man here, Alfred Paige and Mark Poulton, bringing together two fan favorite worlds into one explosive shot. Ladies and gentlemen, the Councils of Nerds is now in session. Alfred, welcome to the podcast, my friend.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me here.
Absolutely. I know we've had this on the schedule for a hot minute now, and the night is finally here. The covers are fantastic, dude. But let's dive into tell everybody who Alfred Paige is.
You know, I'm a creator that got into comic books late in the 90s, early in the 2000s. I was a big influence by Image Comics and Chris Claremont and Jim Lee and everybody that was hot at that time. And that influence has made me want to create my own world of comic books, and it's an enjoyment, and I love doing it.
So, I know you just mentioned Image, which hands down probably one of my favorite publishing companies, period, hands down. Was there a particular book that kind of like brought you into that fold?
Just the originals, Youngblood, Wildcat, Cyberforce, Spawn. Just the original, the epic, the golden years of Image. I guess they will call it.
That early
that influence. Yeah, that influence and that atmosphere. At that time, you know, going to a comic book store, you get comic books, you get Wizard, you get, you know, all that the intensity of it at that time was really big, was really good.
No, those are greats, man. And like, I probably have I still to this day collect Spawn, and I was picking up some of the re-releases of some of the other books too that they just started putting out. It was all nostalgic, man. Yep, just seeing them on the shelf again. Well, Witchblade is still going. Like it's back on the shelves again, brand new stories, the whole nine.
I mean, all of it's coming back. Youngblood, Darkness is back. This new Cyberforce coming out. Supposed to be a new Wildcats. I mean, this.
Yep. Well, they just had a Wildcats run. They did a Wildcats run last year. I think that was really good with the DC, but it was under the DC logo with Jim Lee, I think.
Yeah. I think that softened it up, but nevertheless, you know what I mean?
It's still out there, man, and they're still going strong, and I love to see that. So at what moment did comics kind of shift from being passion to purpose, and you wanted to actually do them?
I would say it kind of made itself because just at life at the time.
Yeah.
When I got into comic books, it was a distraction. You know, I always tell the story. I had a friend that let's just say that he was on the right side of the road, and
Yep.
I say be like, yo, let's go to my house and write a comic book. And I had this guy in my backyard flipping and jumping around and acting out. I mean, this is the guy that is concentrating. He's like, yo, this is. I said, ain't this better than being out? And he'd be out there, and that's how my character Pinpoint got started. Just having off a friend of mine, just jumping around, rolling, and I just started writing. And my girlfriend at the time, who was like a writing major at college,
Yeah.
could take my ideas and expand them properly in the script.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's how I got started. And then from there, it just never ended.
Dude, that's awesome, man. I love when the stories are like that. So what lessons kind of shaped you the most as an indie creator, as you're coming up and you're learning how to write? Was there a particular lesson that kind of shaped you into the writer you are today?
Know how to do it by standard, so then you could enjoy doing it your own way. You know what I mean? That makes sense. Know the proper foundation and go through the ways to do it that standard. Understand the rules of it, and that way, when you do it your own way, you can take those elements into it and make your own road on it.
Dude, that's a fantastic answer. It is one of those that I feel stands true. Like you pick up any good comic book, you could tell.
Mm-hmm.
But so let's dive into some Hostile Assets now. What sparked the idea for this crossover?
I had a chance to talk to Mark Poulton from Haunted Pizza.
Yep.
Who is an image, one of those image guys, right? And his crew, and works with that same crew. He did Evangeline for Image. He did Savage Hawkman. He did, he Graveyard Shift. And he, like me, is an image head.
Mm.
So we started talking about what comic books was an influence, and we both enjoyed The Kindred. I don't know if you remember, it's a comic book called The Kindred from Image Comics.
I can see it vaguely in my head.
Yeah, it's a comic book called The Kindred, which is one of my, I guess you want to say, comic book Bibles, that and Mutant Genesis and X-Men. And as well as him. So I was like, hey, I got Footpath, and he had a character named Gun Goth that had a green jacket, like the old grifter. I said, hey man, let's redo it. So that's how I got started, just off a conversation. And from there, we did it. We rewrote it. I sent out a letter. I reached out to Sal Rigler, who's the original writer on The Kindred. I showed him the making of it, and I talked to him about it, and what his comic book or what they did years ago has such an influence even today. So yeah, we are enjoying it, man. It's a fantastic crossover. It's 60 pages, and it's an active build.
That's a fat book, man. 60 pages.
Yeah.
You're getting the bang for your buck on this one.
Yeah, it's 60 pages. It's and it has a lot of guests in it. You got Enrico Bada, artist from Spawn. You got Mike Mahan. You got Edson Isles, who actually did the interiors. You got Anthony George. I mean, you got Dexter Weeks Jr. I mean, you got a lot of people that is around then through that influence that's taking part in this project. So it's a really big project.
Dude, that's amazing. So many great names from the 90s who are still doing comics in their own way now. Really
that's
awesome
right.
to hear
that's
that.
Right.
So
yeah, so this is like a...
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was saying, like, this is like a dedication to the influence that, that you all had the same influence under back then with Image and stuff like that. So it's like a love letter. So, it's real nice project to be a part of.
That's why I hit that notify me on launch button. But what makes this crossover different from your typical comic book crossovers?
Only because this one's a direct influence of something that we loved. You know what I mean? So this one is a direct influence from the Kindred. So that's the only one that makes this one different. Is that it's purposely to try to catch the elements that we loved about comic books. What grabbed us into comic books, the excitement, the action, and what made us fans. So we're trying to capture that again with this crossover.
Dude, I love it, dude. This is one of those where 60 pages, some of Image's early greats, all taking part and to bring this back to life.
Oh yeah,
dude, that's phenomenal, especially for all those guys out there my age who grew up on Image as well as yourself. We grew up on Image. I mean, shit, Spawn is still $1.99. So
that's right.
I mean, it's what I could afford, because at the time I think Marvel had gone up to like $2.99 or $3.99 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
even cheaper than that.
Yeah. So it's awesome to hear and to see two characters so heavily influenced by that old 1990s Image when they come out swinging on everybody. So that's really cool. But so let's jump into this story that Gun Goth and Footpath are going to have in this crossover comic book. Yeah, zombie blood serum is a killer concept. Where did that originate?
In my line of comic books, I had a comic book called Blowtorch Bury the Past.
Okay.
Which I started a storyline about a resurrection program. Right.
Okay.
So that storyline kind of went into the conversation of Mark with Gun Goth, who is a girl that's tracking down these experiments and these werewolves and stuff like that. So the storyline kind of fit into each other. And you know, through conversation, it's like, hey, that's amazing that your storyline and my storyline are kind of like hitting each other. So it made its own story.
Dude,
together,
that's so cool.
The two of them together. And so, you know, if you remember the original Kindred, it was something similar off experiment. So it was like, oh, we got a chance to do an Image comic. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, let's do this. So you know, we got excited. It's like, hey, the stories itself is already aligned. The stories are not from the Kindred, but it led into a similar environment through the conversation me and him is having.
No, that's really cool. I mean, that two separate guys, unrelated, are working on two books very similar, and you were able to make it cross paths that way just seamlessly and make everything just flow into each other like that. That's a 1 in a million shot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's rare, because it actually, even though it's a crossover between us, it actually just moves on the story for both of us.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
Even better,
that's
right?
That's already established. Yeah, that's already established before we even talked about it. You know, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
so.
No, that makes 100% sense to me. But I live in this world. You know what I'm saying? Of indie comics and amazing stories that are out there in the indie comic world. So for me, dude, that's perfect. Like, how often do you get to write a story with somebody you don't know, and the stories just fall seamlessly into each other and work to continue both stories?
That's right.
So
that's right. It's just a coincidence.
And what's amazing about that is now that you're crossing them over here, y'all both can go off, write 2, 3, 4 more issues, and then bring them back together if you want to.
Oh, well, you know, we had so much fun doing Hostile Assets. And the way that happened, I just did a Kickstarter called Footpath Dangerous Nights.
Okay.
About this same experiment before we even had this conversation. So if you look, I got a Kickstarter out now, or late pledges for a Kickstarter called Footpath Dangerous Nights.
Okay, bet. After this, I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, the way that story went led right into the conversation with Mark. It's like it was like just a crazy coincidence. So it follows through. And we had so much fun doing hostile. We had so much fun doing hostile assets that now hostile assets is going to lead into a bigger crossover with Haunted Pizza and Page One Comics with everybody. Like with everybody. So
that's money, bro. I love to hear that. That is absolutely amazing. So what kind of tone is this comic book going to have? Are we getting some horror, some action, some like grindhouse style movie type action in this book?
This comic book is a love letter to the 90s action that we all missed in Image. So we are going straight for the action. We are going straight for the explosive pages, the way they used to do it back then with the 2-page splashes, and just all the fun elements that people our age remember about that time in comic book.
Yeah,
that's what we're trying to capture with this crossover. This is like a dream project that we are getting a chance to do.
So how the two heroines in this comic book are very different. How did y'all manage to get these two personalities to kind of behave on paper? Like, did they start out with some initial, like, some headbutting and then kind of work it in together and like, hey, we got to do this as a team, otherwise this isn't going to work? How did that kind of like transpire between the two ladies who are the central point of this comic book?
They're already going storylines made it possible to interact in a way that it reflected how they did in Kindred. So, they're going to come together. Of course, they're not going to be friends at first, but they're going to eventually have to work together. And it doesn't pause either one story. You know what I mean? Gun Goth already had a storyline going on that this crossover follows through her storyline. Footpath is already on the storyline that's going on. This crossover extends her storyline. And even though they're crossing over, it doesn't affect either one storyline. You know what I mean? So it just made it convenient and made it good and gave us a chance to say, hey, if we was doing this comic book in the 90s, how would we do it? And we'll go back to how they did Wildcats with the 2-page splashes, Jim Lee and Mark Silvestri and the explosive action. I was like, I really want to do that. So,
dude, I'm in. I'm bought in. I'm ready for this to drop and hit Kickstarter. So, what surprised you the most while y'all were working on this project?
Say again.
What surprised you the most while working on this project?
The fun. The fun.
Dude, it's not really work if you're having fun, is it? Yeah. And it's not work if you're having fun.
I remember when I tried to get into comic books, I submitted to Image Comics. So many times. It's almost, I damn near climbed through their window. I was trying like everything to get into Image Comics. I sent in so many submissions to Image Comics. I sent in I remember they used to have a comic book called Dynamo 5. I think early Robert Kirkland, I think. Man, I wrote a whole crossover for Domino 5. I had Rudy Vasquez, Jordan. I sent that submission in. I was trying everything to get into Image at that time. So
dude, here you are working with some of the great Image creators from the 90s.
Incredible. That's the most fun is working with people that is in that field. It's like getting my submission for Image back then. Like, it turns me into a kid again, if that makes sense.
No, dude, 100%. And I think that was every kid's dream at that time. But let's dive into who the creative team is on this book. We got some Edson Alves doing art, Anthony George on colors, and of course, Mark Poulton of Haunted Pizza Comics as your co-writer. All-star team, dude. Anybody else you want to shout out who worked on the book with y'all?
My designer, Sade Temafonte came up with the logo. Mark Mahan been the big process of the comic book too.
Okay.
He's an artist. He also did a couple of covers. Serge Dilemma did a couple of covers. Anthony George, of course, for the incredible colors he's doing on the book. And there's everybody that's taking fun in this project. You got Spawn artist Erica Barto came on and did a cover for us. I mean, incredible.
Oh, she's amazing.
You
too.
got he's amazing.
Okay.
And Mark Yarn did one. Dexter Weeks. I mean, Dexter Weeks jumped on and did a fantastic one. So I mean, the fact that I'm getting to work with people that years ago I was trying to submit to. I mean, it's just an amazing feeling.
So, how did this whole creative team actually come together, and you managed to get, like, no shit, guys who worked with Image and at Image in the 90s in on this project as well?
That's our relationship to Mark. So yeah, that's our relationship to Mark and Mark being in that environment or in that field back then. So this is all from his relationships.
Okay, what was it like co-writing this with Mark?
Oh, he gave me some freedom. He gave me an opportunity, and he loved it. And then he took my half and he added his half, and yeah, it turned out to be an amazing project. It has like I said, remnants of the Kindred, and it has our own remnants. It's like half and half, and yeah, it really turned out to be an amazing project. I mean, and I really shout out Mark Poulton for giving me the opportunity and the chance to work with him and his team. And yeah, I'm very thankful.
Dude, that's awesome. Can so you currently have a multiple kind of storylines going on right now. Do all your stories kind of interweave and cross over into each other and fit within all of your universe?
Only the chess related titles are kind of like they play around with each other. I got some new titles that I'm working with some new people that don't. Like Osmo's a new character from DeMario Hill. Scorp is a new character from Jason Matazea. So these are characters that don't particularly relate to my titles. This is brand new titles.
Okay. So let's talk about some of the. You had sent me some covers earlier, and you had some my guy Malcolm on there from 615. How did that come about with you and Malcolm?
Me, Malcolm, and another creator by the name of Tony Cottrell.
Okay.
We all had characters that I guess if you look at a comic book, they'll look similar to you, right? Tony had Southside, Malcolm had Subject Zero, I had Pinpoint. So on the cover, they look like the same character. Okay. Right? They're doing the same thing. They all mercs. They all got guns. They all, so if you don't know the character, there would be similar characters. So we had a conversation. I was like, hey, let's do a crossover to show how these characters are kind of different, even though they look the same or do the same things. And that crossover ended up being Bear and Bullets. Okay. And that crossover is very successful. I mean, working with Tony and Malcolm, I mean, that was an incredible experience. Malcolm is such a young inspiration in the field. Young energy, and yeah, that was an amazing experience. So that crossover led into the Bear, which is it's like a follow up because it's Pinpoint and Subject Zero again. Okay. But yeah, it made it fun. It's like, hey, these characters next to each other it's a fun read. So let's do it again. So and that was that crossover actually came from a comment from a gentleman named A. Fuller Bay on a comment on Facebook about there's a bear in Bear and Bullets and a bear in one of Malcolm's comic books. And he's like, hey, that bear needs his own storyline, like a joke. And from that joke, he's like, hey, you know something? Next thing you know, we got a comic book called The Bear.
Dude, that's awesome. And for those unfamiliar with who Malcolm and 615 Comics is, you could go over to my YouTube page and watch my interview with Malcolm. He is definitely one of the young up-and-comers in comic books right now, especially indie comics. Go give that interview a watch and then go over and give him a follow because he is a fantastic writer with a very bright future ahead of him.
Incredible. Yep.
But thanks for talking to us about Malcolm because he deserves some love and a shout out on that one because he is really good and deserves some more love. So I appreciate that. So do you see more crossovers coming in the future for your characters?
Well, I enjoy them. I like the interaction. Like I said, I've been writing since like early 2000s, and I went through all the standards and the regular ways. So now it's just about fun. These crossovers are fun. You get to meet these other creators and have ideas and talk to each other, and now it's just in a format that we could do it. It's nothing stopping us. Hey, I like this idea. Let's do it. What I mean? And it's just that simple. And these conversations are fantastic. I'm getting a chance to work with so many incredible other creators. I had a chance to work with Tony Cottrell. I had a chance to work with Malcolm. I had a chance to work with Mark. Just working with different people. It's amazing. Some younger than me, some older than me. You get some knowledge. You get some inspiration. It's just a fun field to be in and an enjoyment field to be in.
Dude, so I've been doing this for about a year now, a year plus, doing just straight indie content, indie creators, and I've gotten to meet so many amazing guys and gals with like tons and tons of talent who, honestly, this is how they get the love they deserve, is coming on here and other podcasts, sharing their stuff on social media. But it's been such a fun ride for me from that perspective and getting to know all of you and so much great talent out there who is getting overlooked. And one of the big things I'll do here is try to bring that spotlight to them. And Alfred found me because I post in a lot of different Facebook groups and said, hey, let me get in on that. And here he is tonight. So for those unfamiliar with him, please go give him a like or a follow on Instagram and Facebook if you can. It would greatly appreciate it. Shine some more spotlights on Alfred and what he's doing, because he does have an incredible book coming out here in April that we are going to talk about a little bit more now with the Kickstarter. So Alfred, walk us through your Kickstarter. It's launching next month in April. So do you have shit, this is only February. We're launching in 2 months.
April,
I'm a month ahead of myself. In April.
Yeah. Like, it's 60 pages, so we're just giving some room. Yeah.
Okay. No, dude, that makes 100% sense, because 60-page comic book is a lot for anybody to take on and try to, and you don't want it to be too fast, because then it gets sloppy and you don't want to do that. Especially with the names on this book, because there's big names on this book. We're talking ties to Image in the 90s and today. So this one definitely doesn't need to be rushed out. So what has got you most excited about this campaign in particular?
The attention that is, like you just said, the attention that is getting from people of the era of my influence. I mean, I got a cover by Dexter Weeks. That's like a dream come true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got a cover by Rico Abada. That's a dream come true. So, the fact that the idea of this Kickstarter is gaining more attention from people that has an influence. I mean, that's amazing to get a chance to work with these people. Right. So that's what made it 10 times more better.
You're literally living every Image 90s kid's dream right now.
That's right. it's like just getting my submission accepted now in
Hey.
2026.
Hey, it's never too late, right?
It's never too late.
So
That's
you've
mhm.
obviously you've launched multiple Kickstarters during your independent creator journey here. What are some of the lessons you've learned personally while running Kickstarters that you're bringing into this one with I think Mark. Sorry, I was brain farting his name.
Yeah. It's just the experience. You know, Kickstarter is always its own experience. You know what I mean? No matter how many times you do it, it's a grind, it's a hustle. This one's a little bit better because it's more fun and it's more about us than the Kickstarter, if that makes sense. But
Oh no, that's
yeah,
100% makes sense. Yeah.
yeah. So, but the grind in Kickstarter, it's always a rotation of work, promo, marketing, and yeah, those things. I mean, you know, every side of fun is a side of business, and it's a job to do. So, I mean, that's just about it right there.
And
You know, so
I don't think, like, for the average person out there who may not know this, it's a lot of work that goes into doing a Kickstarter campaign. Lots of front end work, lots of work in the middle, lots of work at the end of the product. It is just a lot of work that I don't think the normal person out there really realize what's going into not just make the comic book, but the front end work of that as well. Coming on podcasts, doing the social media thing. That is a lot of work to do, and trying to get on podcasts. It's not easy. And some people can't bring themselves to come on a live podcast and speak to people live in person.
That's right.
So it's kind of wild in that. But so how important is crowdfunding to independent creators and their sustainability?
It's the way. I mean, that's the lifeline. That's the blood of the indie market. Crowdfunding. I mean, yeah, you got other ways that you could get your comic book out. You got direct market, you got publications, you got distribution. But the majority is crowdfunding allows you to push out your ideas and meet new people. So, I mean, outside conventions is the only way to really be noticed everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
To be noticed everywhere. You want somebody in Canada to get your comic book. You want somebody in, you know, wherever to have access to your comic book, and you know, you don't know who's going to become a fan of your comic book where in the world. And crowdfunding allows that. So that is a very important process to the indie market.
Oh yeah, and it's one of those where I tell people I'm happy just to play my small little part in that process for the creators that come on here, because it truly is a lot of fun to me.
Yeah,
to get to see some of these projects kind of in that process of being made along the way, to get to see the covers before the average Joe does. And I don't want to say that's a perk of the job, because it's not. The perk of the job is actually getting to talk to Alfred and other creators when they come on the show to discuss their, you know, creation. And to me, that's the fun thing that I get to do in that process, is that right there. So
that's right.
What kind of fun stuff do y'all have for this Kickstarter? You're going to have some exclusives, some stretch goals, some extras in there for people. What can they expect from the actual campaign itself?
Oh, we got tons of stuff coming up. We got more artwork coming up. Rewards, stretch goals. Obviously, you're going to get access to the history of Mark's past titles. You're going to get access to.
I don't know if it's your headphones or where your jack is plugged into your phone, but it's causing your mic. There it goes. It stopped now.
Okay.
All right, we're good now.
Okay. Yeah. So, what was I saying? Oh, the stretch goals. You're gonna get some more artwork. You're gonna get access to the history of Mark and everything he's done. You're gonna get access to page one comics. And we got some other things coming up. Mark Poulton is, I would say, like a incredible campaign person. Incredible. So, he got some things coming up for y'all, and
so for
y'all
this
just gonna have to look
particular
out for it.
campaign, do they need to go follow Mark Poulton on Kickstarter in order to be notified for this campaign?
This campaign is underneath Mark Poulton. Yes, that is correct.
Okay. So I just want to make sure people understood that this particular project is going to be under Mark Poulton, MarkPoulton. So if you're on Kickstarter and you want to go follow this project in particular, it's under Mark Poulton's name. Make sure you hit that notify me on launch. That way you get that immediate notification that this is live. You're not going to want to miss this project at all. So
Mark Poulton and Haunted Pizza Comics.
Yep, Haunted Pizza Comics, page one comics. Give them both a follow. That way you get all the updates of this process as they go. Because I can go ahead and tell y'all right now, I've teased a couple of the covers for y'all when I did the hype video for this interview. There are going to be some fantastic stuff coming, especially if you're over following Mark's page. You're going to see some great behind the scenes stuff on that.
Yeah. So yeah, Mark is no joke.
Alfred, can you kind of walk us through how you do your writing? Like how do you like to do that?
I just go off idea. I mean,
yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna are you a kind of like sit in a quiet room and kind of like type away, or are you like you like to listen to music while you work, or just like what gets Alfred in that zone to start creating what he creates?
I try to write it as soon as I have the idea while it's fresh. So, it hits you at any time. I mean, ideas hit you from anything. You could watch a car go down the street and see a red car, like, hey, I got an idea. You know what I mean? And then, all the idea is fresh and you can actually see the whole idea. You want to get as much of it out as possible in your first draft.
I'm kind of laughing inside to myself because that reminds me of Lonnie of Dark City Comics. He does that to people. Like he says he shoots random story parts of a story or random story ideas to people while he's messaging them. Like if he's messaging somebody and the idea hits, he just types it out real quick and sends it to them to kind of create that record of that idea. That way he doesn't lose that idea.
Yep. That's right. Yeah. So that's it. I mean, it just hits you. You know what I mean? So, I know some people got different processes. Some people put maybe a different study into it, or and not influence, but a study into what they're trying to do. Right. Yeah. Some people got characters that is from history. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So their process is different because they study that particular history to make a character that reflects what they're trying to do for that time period. So, everybody got a different process and stuff like that. So, but yeah, for the most part, me, as soon as I get it, I try to put my first draft down and then go back and edit it and fix it to the way I want it.
Okay. All right. So let's hit those rapid fire questions I told you about before we got started. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm. I'm ready.
So your favorite anti-hero?
Magneto.
All right.
Would that count?
Yeah, no, it's your questions, man. I'm just asking. It's whoever you want it to be. So now, horror or action?
Action.
Print or digital?
Print.
Same, man. I gotta have that print. I love the smell of a new comic book.
I gotta have it in my hand. It doesn't get ripped. It's nothing like rereading a comic book in your hand multiple times. Then digital you might get it one time or something, but you don't really go back to it.
Oh yeah. So now Kickstarter must-haves. So when you kick off a Kickstarter, what are some of your must-haves when you do it?
Limited covers, variant artworks. Maybe some posters, something like that. Maybe some additional things that. I mean, for me, I just want to read the book. So
yeah.
I mean, I know some people go into Kickstarter for the extras and the add-ons.
Yeah.
To this day, I never supported an add-on or a stretch goal in the Kickstarter. I just want the book. So if I'm interested in the book, I just want the book. All that other stuff, and I know some people go for shirts and bonuses and things that's in Kickstarter allows. I can't say I don't do that. So I just want the book. If I'm interested in the book, I want the book, and that's it.
Yeah.
So
no, I tip my fingers into a little bit of everything when it comes to that. It really it depends on how hard it jumps out at me when I get to the page, and that's why it's so important for creators to create the best landing page they possibly can, because that is a make or break for a lot of campaigns.
That's right.
Don't make your campaign page messy, is what we're saying. Collective ideas that flow. Otherwise, you're losing people.
That's right.
So now, what's one indie comic you think everyone should read?
I'm gonna go back to our friend Malcolm McFadden. He has recently. I read his comic book called Evora Lynn. Yeah. Right. I would say that is probably one of the best indie comic books I read in a long time, and that's on the line of comic books like Crescent City Monsters and Ray Common's Rhina. I mean, this I'm talking about. It is a perfectly executed comic book. So shout out to Malcolm for that.
Malcolm getting a lot of love tonight. I like it. So what is your? We're already talking about this crossover. But outside of the current crossover you have going on right now, what is your dream crossover that you want to do?
I want to get to that DC Marvel. I want to get to that DC Marvel, man. I want to do something. I want to do something between my dream crossover would be Justice League America.
Okay.
In the Age of Apocalypse. X-Men Age of Apocalypse.
Oh,
that'd be if I had a major dream project to write or be a part of, it would be taking the Justice League America into the Age of Apocalypse X-Men world and seeing who survives and how they move.
No, I like that actually. I'm more of a Justice League Dark myself. I just like those darker DC characters. So that would have been my go-to for something like that. But no, Justice League of America ain't that bad either. But Alfred, it's that time where you can share and plug all the promo you want. Tell everybody where they can find you. Tell everybody when the Kickstarter is going to launch. Just plug yourself and what you do.
Yeah. Okay. So we got the first one I want to mention. We're still taking late pledges. It's Footpath, Dangerous Nights. We are still taking late pledges to the end of February. At the end of February, we want to move on to completing the comic book and sending out the digitals.
Now, so where's that one? Is that located under? So if they go to Kickstarter, is it under your name or Page One Comics? What's that under?
Footpath, Dangerous Nights is under incredible writer by the name of Jonathan Hendrick, who is he had a hit comic book called Recount not too long ago. So it's underneath Jonathan Hendrick under Hendrick Comics. He's my partner in that one, writing partner in that one as well. And look for that Footpath, Dangerous Nights. We're still taking late pledges on that right now to the end of February. Again, you could notify yourself on the pre-launch page for Footpath Gun Goth, Hostile Assets. We'll shoot off in April. And I gotta tell you, I mean, I know you've seen some of the pages and some of the covers, but the artist Eds and Owls, the pages he got coming up, I mean, that's phenomenal. I mean, Eds and Owls is truly one of the best artists today in indie comic books, and I'm so gifted to be working with him. We got another crossover, the Bear, that's gonna be coming up very soon with again Malcolm and Sub-Zero and Pinpoint as they get back together and get into some more trouble. So look for that. We have a 100-page crossover coming this summer called Earthfall.
Okay.
And that's with a lot of people in the industry: Dan Sin, Nigel Flood, Peter Brill, a lot of people, C.T. Parker, Specs Thompson, Roscoe Gluten. I mean, that's a list. Jesse Hands, a list of different creators, and we all just got together and we did this 100-page crossover called Earthfall.
Okay.
Mega crossover. It's 100 pages plus. So it might like be 120, 130, something around that area.
That's graphic novel territory right there.
It is, and I gotta tell you, the artwork coming back from that is incredible. And some of the best artwork I have seen in comic books. So look out for that later on this year. That's gonna be under Argo Comics. I believe Dan Sin is going to be running that one. So follow Dan Sin for information about that in a couple of months as he start the preparation for that. And yeah, we're just having fun. It's gonna be a fun year.
Dude, it sounds like you're having a lot of fun this year, making some incredible books and some incredible crossovers. Anything else you want to share with the Council of Nerds before we close this out?
Look for some new titles coming out. So from brand new creators, first time creators. Mario Hill has a comic book coming out called Osmo. Jason Martizia got a comic book coming out called Scorp. I'm working on a new comic book now with artist Felipe called Beauty Mark. So just look out for all the new titles and new things coming out throughout the year.
Sorry, I was trying to click something.
Okay.
No, that was my fault. I clicked and it opened up the wrong thing, so that's on me. But Alfred, first of all, thank you for coming on the podcast tonight, sharing this incredible title with us, sharing how you do what you do, and what a great opportunity you have right now working with some of your, not just yours but mine as well, like favorite people from the 90s. And dude,
that's right.
Soak it all in, man. Just soak it all in. That's huge, dude. And I loved hearing about it tonight. But again, this has been fantastic. Hostile Assets isn't just another crossover. It's a collision of worlds, creators, and indie comic energy that shows exactly why the independent comic scene continues to thrive and will continue to thrive well into the future. If you love horror, if you love anti-heroes, gritty storytelling, creator-owned stories, this is going to definitely be one to watch when it hits Kickstarter this April. Make sure you follow Alfred, Page One Comics. Links are in the description to him. Make sure you sign up for the pre-launch and keep supporting indie creators who are building something real. And to everyone watching, support indie comics, support the creators, and keep reading. This has been the United States Department of Nerds, where indie comics come to life. Y'all be safe out there.
Yes, sir.
It's a trap!